Have you ever had the feeling that something was about to happen? A deep intuition, as if time was slipping through your fingers. It's a nightmare. There's not much time left. With every second that passes, something dark is approaching, and you can feel it. Someone is close to dying, and this is not just an empty phrase. It is a distressing reality that can change everything. Imagine yourself in a silent place where every shadow seems to whisper secrets that you cannot understand. Message from God. Have you ever wondered if He is trying to talk to you? What does He want you to know at this critical moment? A revelation? A warning? The truth is that God may be trying to reach someone you love, and the uncertainty of tomorrow is at your door. What would you do if you knew that someone's life depended on a choice, on a gesture of yours? The tension increases and you cannot ignore it. The stakes are much higher than you can imagine. The archangels spoke about the importance of transforming our wounds into sources of strength. Every pain we face has the potential to shape us and prepare us for what is to come. When we hold on to things that have already happened, we risk losing sight of the blessings that are unfolding before us. May we learn to trust God and His plan, allowing the pain of the past to become a springboard to a better future. Children, remember that the healing process is ongoing. Do not feel guilty about your pain. Instead, allow yourself to feel, process, and grow. Holding on to things from the past will not change your reality, but what will change is your willingness to live fully in the present. May you always seek the light that comes from God and find comfort and renewal in His presence. Finally, may this prayer serve as a reminder that life is a journey of learning and growth. Summarizing your pain will not bring about change, but embracing your emotions and experiences can lead to true transformation. May you find strength in your faith and courage to let go of what no longer serves you, allowing God to guide your steps toward a future filled with hope and joy. The angels say that the pain we observe in others can teach us valuable lessons, but embracing a new phase of life solely through that pain can turn into endless frustration. When we allow the painful experiences of others to shape our choices without proper reflection, we run the risk of getting lost in a maze of confusing emotions and impulsive decisions. It is essential to remember that pain is a part of life, but it should not be the only lens through which we see the world. May we seek understanding and compassion, rather than simply trying to live through the experiences of others. God has said that each of us has a unique path to walk. Someone else's journey may not be ours, and their scars do not have to define our path. Pain can be a teacher, but we must not allow it to become our guide. Instead, we must learn to value our own experiences and build our lives based on our own feelings and teachings. May we be wise in discerning when it is time to offer support and when we should focus on our own growth. My child, it is essential that you recognize that the pain of others is not a call to adopt their struggles as your own. Everyone carries their own crosses, and the weight of pain should not be transferred to the shoulders of those who are trying to find their way. Instead of clinging to the pain of others, seek to understand their struggles and offer love and support, but never let it consume you. Caring and empathy are important, but your own life and happiness must come first. The angels say that we often try to summarize our pains as if this will make them lighter or easier to bear. However, this approach can be misleading and lead to denial of reality. Pain does not go away simply because we ignore or minimize it. Instead of dealing with what we really feel, we often lean on memories from the past. as if these memories will provide us with comfort. May we open our hearts and allow true healing to happen instead of stifling our emotions. God said that it is important to acknowledge our pain and emotions rather than trying to summarize or erase what we feel. He created us with the capacity to feel deeply, and each emotion we experience has its place and purpose. By validating our feelings, we make room for healing to happen. May we accept our pain as part of the human journey, allowing it to teach us and transform us, rather than trying to ignore it or summarize its importance. My son, know that the past, no matter how painful it may have been, should not define who you are today. Leaning on things that no longer exist and that have already passed can create a cycle of stagnation. Life is a continuous movement, and we must learn to move forward, even when the pain of the past still accompanies us. May you have the courage to let go of what no longer serves you, and to embrace the present and the opportunities that God offers you each day. God warned that on our journey, we will face moments of humiliation and discouragement, often orchestrated by the enemy. It is a cruel strategy of the devil to try to bring us down, making us feel inferior and worthless. However, even in the darkest moments, it is essential to remember that the hands of the Father are always ready to lift us up. May we trust in His goodness and His love, knowing that He sustains us even when all seems lost. The angels warn that humiliation can be a difficult test, but it is not the end of our story. When we feel defeated, it is easy to believe that we are alone. But it is in these moments that God's presence becomes even more evident. He is by our side, ready to lift us up and restore our dignity. May we open our hearts to receive His grace and remember that we are loved and valued by Him. The Archangel says that spiritual battle is real and often manifests itself in forms of humiliation. The devil tries to make us believe that we are weak and incapable, but this is a lie. The truth is that we are sons and daughters of the King, created with a purpose and a mission. May we stand firm in this truth and reject the lies that the enemy tries to impose on us, knowing that in God we find our strength and identity. Angels bring messages of hope and encouragement. When we feel humiliated and defeated, it is essential to remember that we are not alone. They are here to support and guide us in moments of weakness. May we open our eyes to perceive the angelic presence around us, strengthening and lifting us up in times of crisis. God is speaking to your heart now. You have not been forgotten, and you are not alone in your struggle. The Father's hands are always extended to you, waiting for you to hold on to them and allow Him to lift you up. Every humiliation, every moment of pain will be transformed into an opportunity to glorify God. May we remain firm in our faith, knowing that nothing can stop us when we are in the hands of the Lord. Finally, may this prayer be a reminder that humiliation is not our destiny. We are called to a life of victory and overcoming. The Father's hands are always ready to lift us up and give us new life. May we turn to Him in every difficulty, trusting that with His help, nothing can stop us. May God bless us and strengthen us today and always. The angels warn us about the fragility of life and the importance of living wisely. They observe our actions and realize how much we sometimes allow ourselves to be carried away by fleeting desires, without considering the impacts this may have on our future. The angelic voices echo in our consciences, urging us to reflect on what we truly value. The adventure may seem exciting, but true happiness lies in being in harmony with God and His teachings. The Archangel says that by giving in to sin, we create a space for greater problems to manifest in our lives. The sense of freedom we seek turns into a prison, and the lightness of spirit is replaced by a heavy burden. What initially seems like a simple slip-up can evolve into a series of challenges that take us away from the peace and fulfillment that God desires for us. May we heed this warning and re-evaluate our path. God warns that the fruits of disobedience are bitter. The adventure of a sinful life not only brings personal problems, but also affects our relationships and our connection with the Creator. Our actions have repercussions, and each decision made in the heat of the moment can trigger a sequence of unwanted events. May our eyes be open to the truth that the true adventure is the one that leads us to a life of integrity, faith, and love. The angels warn of the danger of getting carried away by proposals that offer quick results but demand high prices to pay. The enemy can use cunning to make you believe that you are making wise choices, while in fact you are moving away from true happiness. Emotional and spiritual stability is a gift from God, and you should cherish it. May you always seek truth and discernment, avoiding the traps that arise around you. God has warned you that balance in your life is essential for a fulfilling journey. The enemy works tirelessly to create disharmony, leading you to seek satisfaction in temporary and fleeting things. Do not be deceived by empty promises that only bring pain and regret. May you seek the peace that comes from living according to God's will, knowing that He always has the best for you, even when circumstances seem difficult. The seraphim say that it is possible to find strength and stability in the midst of life's storms. When the enemy tries to divert your focus, you can hold on to the truth and light that God offers. Prayer and meditation on God's Word are powerful tools that help you resist temptation. May you remember that true satisfaction comes from an intimate relationship with the Lord, and not from the ephemeral things that the world offers. My son, know that humiliation is not what God wants for you. He delights in seeing us lift our heads and walk in faith. When the devil tries to make us feel small, we need to remember that we are great in God's eyes. May we draw near to Him for comfort and strength, knowing that He will lift us up and guide us through any storm. The seraphim proclaim that true victory comes from humility and faith. When we surrender ourselves to God and trust in His promises, we are lifted above our circumstances. The enemy may try to pull us down, but the Father's hands are more powerful than any attack. May we always remember that when we are weak, it is God's power that manifests itself in us, transforming our weakness into strength. God says that life's humiliations are temporary, but His promise to lift us up is eternal. No matter what we face, He is our refuge and strength. When the winds of adversity blow, we can cling to Him, knowing that His hand holds us steady. May we trust in His providence and not let ourselves be overcome by difficulties, for He is always by our side. The angels warn that the act of summarizing our pain can lead to an accumulation of unresolved emotions. Often, by trying to minimize what we feel, we are only postponing the healing process. We need to give voice to the pain, acknowledge its depths, and allow it to be expressed. Denial does not bring relief. On the contrary, it can imprison us in cycles of sadness and frustration. May we have the strength to face our feelings and allow them to express themselves in a healthy way. God has sent us a warning that there is no shame in feeling pain. He sees us in our vulnerability and loves us unconditionally. The past is a part of our history, but it doesn't have to be a burden we carry forever. By holding on to memories that no longer exist, we risk losing the beauty of the present. May we open our hearts to hope and healing, remembering that God is always with us, even in the darkest hours. The Seraphim say that pain can be transformed into learning. Every wound we carry has the potential to teach us something valuable. Leaning on past experiences that are gone can blind us to the lessons that life is offering us in the present. May we seek to understand what each pain has brought us, allowing it to strengthen us and help us grow rather than weaken us. God says that true adventure is the one that brings us closer to Him. Living according to His teachings enriches us and brings us true satisfaction. Instead of losing ourselves in adventures that lead to pain and suffering, we are invited to explore the beauty of life in its fullness. Every step taken in faith is a step toward inner peace and genuine love. May we always remember that our walk is a reflection of our relationship with the Lord. The angels bring messages of hope and encouragement. Even when we fall, we are reminded that we are not alone. They help us get back up and guide us back to the path of righteousness. The adventure of a sinless life is a call to virtue, compassion, and love for others. May we open ourselves to receive these blessings and allow ourselves to be guided by those divine forces that desire our good. God is speaking to our hearts every day. He wants us to live with purpose and to make choices that promote life, not death. Adventures that take us away from Him are traps that lead us to bigger and more complex problems. May we hear His gentle whisper, calling us back to the right path and offering us the chance to rewrite our story. Our lives are a precious gift, and we should treat them as such. God is warning us that living through the pain of others can lead us to a state of confusion and despair. Frustration can set in, causing us to question our own choices and values. It is crucial that in the midst of this turmoil, we seek divine wisdom. When we focus on our own journey and our own growth, we find a clearer and more fulfilling path. May we then always look within and seek the peace that comes from God. The archangel spoke of the importance of acknowledging the pain of others without allowing it to dominate us. It is possible to be supportive and understanding, but always with the awareness that our lives are distinct and valuable. Pain can connect us, but it should not be the sole basis of our relationships with others. May we cultivate healthy relationships based on mutual love and understanding, where each person can grow without being overwhelmed.